It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Eagles take over first and 10. At their own 22.
Hurts throwing right away. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. Pretty good start right off the bat there with throws 1 and 2.
He's not locking in on just one target early, is he? Spreading it around a little bit as this game gets started.
Back-to-back first downs. They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Hurts to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That one good for only 6, and it leaves them with a 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
And they'll begin here with a run by Brown. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Jalen Carter in on that tackle.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. Another run for Brown on 2nd down. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
He will find his man Chase complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
So after several rushes to start the game, Charles, they go to the air there and get a nice completion.
Nice mix-up on the play calling, right? Establish the running game, make the defense think you're going to do it again, and then hit them over the top. Now you've got them betwixt and between. They don't know which way you're going to come at them.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play, second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6.
They go play action with Burrow. Open man is Yoshivas. Will go down as a gain of 6. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where a play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early. Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. This is Brown going up the middle. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Burrow looking to pass. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
A nice gain there to his trusty tight end, and now it's got them thinking opening drive touchdown here as they get into the red zone.
And in most cases with your tight end, you feel like you've got a mismatch no matter who's covering it. Is it a small cornerback? Is it a linebacker who may not run as well? In any event, whatever you see, you think that tight end can win that battle.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again, Burrow. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal.
From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt.
McPherson's kick is good.
And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive.
The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 9.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out in the running game.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
He's taken down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
Barkley, inside handoff.
An excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected, but sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to, so sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown.
And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
And an Eagles first down. 1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
Throwing is Hurts.
He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end over the middle. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Barkley not going anywhere. He'll lose a couple back to the 6.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
I had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Jake Elliott readies for the field goal try. He was originally drafted by the Bengals. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And able to get this out to the 25. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
So the completion gets them just a yard, and it's second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now 2nd and 9.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Now Burrow. Another one into the hands of Jamar Chase. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
On a delay of game there, they could not get the playoff in time.
Frustrating for the head coach, frustrating for the offense. Sometimes you have to get the play call in a little bit quicker.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Now it's Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Here's 2nd and 10.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Brown once more.
And he bowls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown.
Chase Brown
Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bengals have taken the lead.
2 good drives on their first 2 possessions. Remember, the first wound up in a field goal, but we all know field goals aren't going to cut it in the NFL, so they're not going to be denied here, and they wound up punching this one into the end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead is now 10-3.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together.
Hurts completing this one quickly.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 33, here's 2nd down and 1.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Hurts with a quick throw, complete. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
He's going deep for Brown. And he's got it inside the 10. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play there for Philly. 49 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
Shamar Stewart
in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Now Hurts, he's going to do it himself.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
And defensively, they had an extra defensive back on the field, their nickel package, and it made a difference. All the receivers were blanketed, so he tried to run for it, but he came up just a bit short.
Can this defense hold him out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. They'll run forward Barkley. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the Bengals are going to get the football back. They defer to Brown to start the drive. And that gets him a little room as he'll take this up over the 10-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now an option play on 2nd down. And Burrow going to slide to the ground as he does pick up the first down.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
Now it's Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
From the 20, here's a 2nd and 5.
Here's Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 37 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
This one complete to Yoshibans.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And between the last 2 plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. The end result, 21 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
And Burrow going to throw again. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Brown. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Burrow will throw. Filling the
pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on fourth down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. McPherson's kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3.
Eagles 3.
Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on fourth and goal anyway, but the sack on third down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
2nd and 10. Hurts.
They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And his throw is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Here's Hurts to throw. They'll try and do this himself.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up, and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the first down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
And based on my math, They've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
For the field goal, a 56-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, we'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Bengal offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throw left side, complete to Chase.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
At the 44-yard line.
Second down and a little more than a yard here.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. He's going to float this one deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Bengal offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their own 28-yard line. The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
Boye tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
The first down pass. Intercepted. The Eagles take over 1st and 10.
Brown, the motion man right.
Line.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep as they'll go instead with Barkley.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
That's caught by Munn.
So he stopped for no gain. And 3rd and 8 now.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. They'll set up to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good. And that'll bring him back within 4.
So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
The last drive for this offense, Charles, you remember it ended in one play, that quick interception, but they do still have the lead as they start this drive here.
And that's something to focus on for them as well, because it's not quite no harm, no foul, but the interception, hey, shake it off, move on. Hasn't cost your team the lead, and now it's time to rebound. And the quarterback and his teammates, they can add to the lead with a good drive here.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a second and short.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Burrow looking to pass. Got him in. It's Brown.
And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Again, it's Burrow.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily, fell incomplete. On the right side open is Gesicki. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that's going to make it fourth down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Throwing is Hurts.
It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Hurts to his former Alabama teammate Smith for an Eagle first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Okay, let's decide here. He was open, right? Not extraordinarily open, but open enough that if you're an NFL quarterback,
yeah,
you've got to make that throw, right? Yeah. That's got to be completed.
9 times out of 10, that's a completed pass.
Yeah, he missed that one and missed it in a big way.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10
at their own 14-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's going to be brought in by Higgins. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Burrow on play action.
That one complete once again to Higgins.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Open man is Yoshivas.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a 1st down. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense, 1st and 10. Now a give, left side, Brown with it. And across the midfield, stripe into Eagle territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Another run for Brown on 2nd down.
Takes this to the 45. Not much space after that broken tackle. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line.
63 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
17 13 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. We often give credit to the O-line there. Two tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Brooks will take this one in. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
And maybe that's the magic touch right there. They didn't use him at all in the first half, at least running the football. But here they entrust him with some work down in the red zone, and he responds. 1 carry, 1 touchdown.
McPherson on for the point after.
And that one pushes the lead up to 11.
Next the score, Bengals 20, Eagles 9.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
He spins through.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 24.
They'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. They've kept him in check until that run. That's the first time he's really gotten loose in this game.
And they have to keep that in mind. Don't dwell on the fact that he finally had a big run. You kind of are counting on that as the game went on. Get back to what you were doing before. Start limiting him again.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Boye Mafe.
Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block him. They were on him in a hurry.
Complete. Smith has it. They'll give him 4 yards there. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 12.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Pulled in by Brown toward the sideline.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
And Hurts not coming to the sideline. They're going to go for it.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia.
So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. They go play action with Hurts. That is incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Hurts. This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
It's now 4th down.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And he takes this near the 25, 26. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And this one drops incomplete, but I think the defense jumped. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Now Burrow. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
From the 31, here's 2nd down and 5. An inside give, Brown. And a scratch out only about a yard after the 42.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Burrow. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. $51 yards on the punt there. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
They'll be going for 6. And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
2-yard pickup.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On the sneak, it's Hurts. And he is going to have an Eagles first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
And when all you want to do is keep your drive going, quarterback sneak's a great call, isn't it? Pick it up, get a new set of downs.
And on third down, usually you'd think fourth down quarterback sneak. There, though, it worked on third.
Hurts going to keep it again.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. An excellent run of 22 yards on the keeper and also a first down.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a fourth down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now. His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And once again, he'll get possibly back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
That's a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
A new lease on life after the 4th down conversion. Here's 1st and 10. Hurts completing this one quickly.
And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. They'll send Brown in motion right.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
2nd and 14. Hurts sets up to throw it. Now he's going to step up and run.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles.
Jalen Hurts
scoring on the 2-yard keeper.
And the Eagles have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th.
So a big play for the Eagles now as they'll go for 2.
The Eagles will set up for the 2-point conversion.
Hurts will throw.
And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the fourth quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
right at the 30.
And they'll begin here with a run by Bryan.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
That is incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. He'll try and do this himself. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Burrow on his toes that time as they get the 1st down.
So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice or maybe even routes versus air because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Burrow will throw.
Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins.
And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the 1st. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkout bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback.
Eagles offense back out, getting set for this next drive. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at the 20. They'll try and start this drive in the air. This short throw caught by Goddard. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And Goddard going to have an Eagles 1st down as he'll get this up across the 30-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Here's Hurts to throw. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
To throw again on second down. Hurts.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Third and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. And if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback and then make sure you blanket the field.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up fourth down.
It's fourth down.
And it doesn't look like they wanted to get down the field in 10-yard increments. They wanted the big shot there. That could have set him up just outside of field goal range if he comes down with it. But it winds up incomplete.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
A big kick that time, 52 yards.
And the Bengals take over first and 10.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They'll come up first and 10 here. Here's Burrow. And that's complete to Brown. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Well, that's a good first step, but several steps still to go.
They still have time for the possible game-winning field goal. Time for them to be quick and hurry at the same time.
They'll come up now on second down. Now Burrow.
They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early.
So pass interference, the call there. Always, obviously, Charles, such a subjective call. You agree with the penalty?
Well, from where we're standing right now, I think the officials are tightening things up here in the second half. Maybe a defender gets away with that in the first, but this time the flag comes out, and I think it's a good call.
Burrow.
This will be caught once again by Brown.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with a little gain.
At the 36-yard line.
Second down, 8 yards to go. To throw, Burrow. That's complete to Chase.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Well, you don't have to beg the Philly faithful to make noise. On their feet for third down. From the gun, a give to Brown.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get?
and he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Here's a give to Barkley. Oh, good move. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth.
And an Eagles first down. First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Out here, remember, first and 10. Throwing is Hurts.
That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
At the 38-yard line.
Here's second down and 3.
They're going to look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
From the gun, it's Hurts. That's to the sideline and incomplete. Fourth down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, over-excited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
The Eagles send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout.
So it's the Eagles who will get the first chance to go down and find a winner as they'll get it here, and we are back underway. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here first and 10
at their own 24. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Opening drive of overtime. Both teams will get a possession, barring a defensive score. Here's second down.
A handoff to Barkley. Fights him off.
And this is going to be an Eagles first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
At the 41-yard line.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another first and 10 here. Looking to throw. Oh, and it's intercepted.
Daxton Hill puts it off. And this is a touchdown. Now, it's not over yet, but they draw first blood here in this overtime. And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
Oh, the trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full of confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we